if USA women's basketball was assembling this Olympic squad and they said, strictly based on the numbers, while CAITLYN Clark is an outstanding basketball player, we just don't think she's there yet. And we don't want to take away a spot from someone else that we believe is more deserving from a basketball standpoint, even though we know that she brings millions of eyeballs to this sport. If they left her off this roster because there's concern that her millions of fans would be upset with the amount of playing time that she has, that is absolutely ridiculous. That should never even be part of the conversation. It should be who's worthy enough to be on the team and who is not. And CAITLYN Clark certainly has that resume if you want to put her in that conversation. It just feels to me like I've been waiting my entire life for women's sports to be getting the shine that it deserves. And we are here. And we're self-sabotaging this thing. I cannot understand why there is so much resistance to CAITLYN Clark, who has done absolutely nothing but prove that she's a baller and handle every situation, every pressure, every responsibility with grace. Her response to all of this could not have been any better. She is probably exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally. Going from the season that she had in college where she became the all-time leading scorer in collegiate basketball to being the #1 draft pick in the WNBA on SNL. She has been carrying the torch for all of this and all of this debate surrounding her. And she has not cracked once. She has been remarkable. And I cannot understand why having millions of eyeballs on her that would elevate the sport and make it one of the most watched things in the Olympics is somehow viewed as a negative. It feels like self-sabotage and it infuriates me.
How dumb are these women? How dumb? I don't know who's making the decision, Women's Olympic Committee, whatever it is. I don't care if you don't think CAITLYN Clark, talent-wise, belongs on this team, even though she does put up 37 to 13, like the most points in the history of the league for a rookie. None of it matters. These women, and I love women. I'm a pro-woman guy, women guy. They complain and they cry about equal rights, equal wages, blah, 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 blah. Hey, dummies. For the first time, like in the history of basketball, you have arguably a player who is the most popular player in the world. Like you could argue right now, CAITLYN Clark is the most talked about, discussed, most popular, most puts asses in the seats, single basketball player in the world. You could argue that. Yeah, you could say maybe LeBron, Luka, whatever you want, but you can argue it. And you leave her off the Olympics team, it's not only a showcase for her, it's for the sport and the other WNBA players who are on this team. How dumb, how brain dead, how idiotic do the people running this thing have to be?
Hey, welcome back. It's your man Wise, and today we got to talk about it, man. I have not broached this subject for one reason or another, but we got to talk about it. The Olympics is this year. The Olympics is near. Team USA, the women's team, the women's national team, they just announced the roster. And they left CAITLYN Clark off the roster. Then you seen Portnoy speak. You seen the young lady, ahead of him speak, and they're both right. CAITLYN Clark is arguably one of the most talked about basketball players on the planet. And she's definitely the most talked about women's basketball player on the planet. And I take nothing away from the ladies that do play in the WNBA. There are some really good basketball players in that league. But CAITLYN Clark moves the needle. And the numbers don't lie. For the life of me, you finally have people talking about the WNBA. You finally have people actually watching the WNBA. Y'all have Bird Magic and Angel Reese and CAITLYN Clark. CAITLYN Clark, as far as popularity coming into the league, it's on the level of MJ coming into the league. Now, I'm not saying from a skill perspective, she has the type of skill that MJ has. But as far as notoriety coming out of college, oh my goodness, she definitely does. These women are fumbling the bag. They're fumbling the bag. And it makes absolutely no sense. It really doesn't. But we're going to check out Stephen A. First Take. Obviously, there's some delusional former WNBA players, maybe some current WNBA players. I think they're on the panel here. And they're discussing why CAITLYN Clark is not on this team. This is a mistake of epic proportion. This is an opportunity to showcase one of the league's most popular players on the world stage. And they're choosing not to do it. On top of that, they chose Brittany Griner over her. A lady who hasn't played but I think one game this season in the league, but she's on this team. A lady that would not stand for the national anthem. A lady that does not respect America. A lady that caught a charge trying to bring drugs in or out of a foreign country and had to do time. And that we had to give up the merchant of death for. I guess we didn't have to, but this DEI of an administration chose to do it. And that woman is on this team. And CAITLYN Clark, the most popular player, or at least one of the most popular players. You know what? She is the most popular player in the WNBA right now. And they chose that lady over her. We're going to get into the video. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. And without further ado, let's go.
CAITLYN Clark, the #1 pick in April's WNBA draft, who had an up-and-down start to her WNBA career, did not make the Olympic team. Clark just put up 30 points versus the Mystics. That was her best game yet, while the Fever's attendance for games is 16,000 plus. This Olympic roster is combined for 15 Olympic gold medals, 18 W championships. It also includes 3 MVPs. You've heard these names: Breanna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, and Asia Wilson. Team USA seeking their 8th straight gold medal, which would break for the tie for the longest streak in men's or women's Olympic basketball. Also, there's no player under the age of 26 on that roster. Here's CAITLYN on not making the team.
Honestly, no disappointment. Like, I think it just gives you something to work for. That's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there.
We talked actually on the bus. She got the call on the bus, and she texted me to let me know, and I just tried to keep her spirits. The thing she said was, "Hey, coach, they woke a monster," which I thought was awesome.
All right, my girl.
Before their commentary, I do appreciate how she's handled the situation with grace. I'm sure she's upset. Every #1 pick has been on the Team USA team. Every last #1 pick. It's happened on a multitude of occasions. These catty women decided to keep her off. These catty women of the WNBA decided to keep this young lady off this team. And they chose people that she's actually playing better than. Not to mention, she is the all over leader in points in NCAA history, regardless of men or women, and she owns the women's league. This is ridiculous that she's not on this team.
Joining us, Chiney Ogwumike, Andrea Carter. Ladies, good morning. I want to dive right into this one. Chiney, was it a mistake to leave Clark off the Olympic roster?
I grew up in the pipeline of USA basketball, competing at the U16s, U18s, World University Games, and I also brought back the first ever 3-on-3 gold World Championship medal. And what I have learned in my time with USAB is that Team USA's mission is to construct the best basketball team in the world. Now, as a fan of CAITLYN Clark, I would have loved to see her on that stage, doing what she has always done, making moments that grow the game. But Team USA doesn't select simply based off of fandom, especially when the world is catching up. It took a buzzer beater from Stewie for them to beat Belgium in the Olympic qualifying tournament earlier this year. So to me, the primary factor looking at all of this was experience. 9 of the 12 players, as you mentioned, Molly, have competed in the Olympics before. 2 others were all WNBA, and one, the last spot, if you're going to try to list them down, was finals MVP. And if you dive into her position, the point guard position, again, they chose experience. Diana Taurasi, Chelsea Gray, Sabrina Ionescu, and even if you put a combo guard like Kelsey Blum into that category. Now that has opened them up to criticism, because Diana's about to turn 42, even though she's still averaging 16 points per game. Chelsea Gray has yet to play this season in the WNBA. And if you had the opportunity to put one of the most popular athletes in the world right now on the roster, you chose not to do that. And to me, that decision was largely based off of experienced basketball as players, not necessarily what's best for business, because the world is coming. And I know Andrea will highlight some other factors, like the physicality of overseas, especially for guards, is 10 times what it is in the WNBA. The familiarity of the roster is important. 8 of the players that made the roster played together at the World Cup in Australia. All of those things factored in the eyes of the committee. Was it a missed opportunity to grow the game? Yes. But to me, it looks like they were more concerned about missing gold.
So if we're trying to go to gold, because we have a precedent here. This is not like this is to be the first time that we're adding a WNBA player. Because you remember in 2004, they put Diana Taurasi on this team. You remember in 2008, they put Candace Parker on this team. And in 2016, they put Stewie on this team. Now, I'm not saying CAITLYN Clark is going to have the career that these, but we have a precedent here. They put the men's team, added Christian Laettner. In 2012, they added Anthony Davis because Blake Griffin got hurt. To highlight some of the things that you said, Shanae, is that hadn't played all year. Chelsea Gray hasn't played all year long. So what are we doing? Are we really at some point in time, we've got to stop talking about we're trying to grow the game. Because listen, is she as accomplished? Will she ever be as accomplished as a Stewie, as a Asia Wilson? And I believe those two, obviously they're slam dunk. They're the 2 best players in the WNBA, hands down, and it's not even close. But are we really trying to grow the game? Because this is the most popular women's basketball player in the world, and it ain't close.
Shout out to Shannon. I said the same exact thing. And Breanna Stewart can really play. Asia Wilson is a dog. She may go down as the best WNBA player in history of the league. She's that daggone good. But she doesn't come with the popularity. And I understand they want to win a gold, and I understand that they struggled, or it maybe not a struggle, but they were challenged in the World Cup. And I get it. But you're not going to tell me that they don't have enough horses on this team, that they don't have enough dogs on this team to get it done when you bring in a Brittany Griner, and then you also have this other lady, Chelsea, who hasn't played all year long. What is going on with this league, man? What is going on with these women?
They had to move the Mystics game to an NBA arena. Name the time. And I'm going to turn it over to you because I don't want to get long-winded. I want somebody, one of our women colleagues, Stephen A., to tell me when a WNBA game has had to be moved because of a woman player. Just one. Just tell me one. Because I know in her attendance, she's averaging about 17,000. All the other WNBA games in which she's not a participant average about 7. So are we really trying to go the game? Is that what we're really trying to do? Or are we just talking about we're trying to grow the game and just bull jiving?
They don't care about growing the game. They don't care about growing the game. Not at all. Listen, hear this out now. 17,000. 17,000 again at a CAITLYN Clark game. 3 road games, 17, 18, 19,000. CAITLYN Clark's coming into the league. She's like the Heatles. Back when LeBron, D. Wade, and Bosh was on the squad together. And everywhere they went, they sold out. When she's not playing, the league is down. She's getting 3 times the attendance when she shows up. In DC, they had a $2 million gate. Y'all hear me? This isn't happening anywhere else in the league. No one else is bringing this type of attention, this type of fanfare. No one else is bringing fans that wouldn't normally watch the game otherwise. These women are fumbling the bag.
So what woman is more popular?
If you wanna go from a marketing perspective, sure, CAITLYN is extremely marketable. However, I just want to pitch this to everyone. Imagine CAITLYN joining this team and spending time on the bench. What is the conversation going to be about the entire time the Olympics is going on? Why isn't CAITLYN getting more minutes? Why isn't CAITLYN playing? I'm sure people will tune in, but what will the conversation be then? I think it's really interesting. Head coach Christy Sides for the Indiana Fever said that a monster was woken up in CAITLYN Clark, and I think that is wonderful. I think motivation for CAITLYN is wonderful. I'm going to say this, a monster has been woken in all of the women that were selected for the Olympic team also, because the conversation is again centered around CAITLYN Clark. If your only argument for CAITLYN is that it would have been a great marketing opportunity and you don't have basketball experience or chemistry with the group listed in your reasoning, I don't want to hear it. When you talk about Diana Taurasi, she has played overseas basketball. She is having a phenomenal season, putting up big time numbers, and two of her current teammates, though, are on the team, Shannon. You know what chemistry means. You know what it means to have somebody beside you out there on the playing field that you trust, someone that you know. Diana Taurasi knows Kalia Copper. Diana Taurasi knows how to get Brittany Griner the ball on the inside more than anyone else on the team does. Like, there's no way as a professional athlete you can sit here and completely discount what team chemistry and player chemistry stands for and what that means.
None of what Janae and Andrea said was inaccurate. And I'm going to say something to you that I have said on many, many occasions. It's not that you're wrong. It's that we don't care. Everything y'all said does not matter for this particular instance. We don't want to hear anything about Team USA. We know they won 7 straight goals. Put Andrea and Shanae up on this screen. I want to look at them this whole segment when I'm talking to them. You just highlighted 7 straight gold medals. Oh, my God. We're really worried that they're not going to get an 8th. Oh, we really worried. I mean, we got to make sure that spots 1 through 12, every single spot that is picked. I mean, it's got to be, because it's pivotal, Shannon. I don't know if you noticed, Shannon, it's pivotal. I mean, they won 7 straight. They might not get 8. They might not get 8. Stop it. You know good and damn well, with or without CAITLYN Clark, they're going to probably win the gold again. That's not what this conversation is about. This is about what I will personally label the idiocy of Team USA women's basketball. How dare you make this decision? It's stupid. And I'm going to tell you why it's stupid. I want all the ladies on this squad to know every single one of y'all are deserving of it. CAITLYN Clark does not deserve a spot ahead of any of the players on this roster, okay? If we're talking just basketball, you know.
I'm going to disagree with them on that. And I know Stephen A., I know he's got to be somewhat PC, and I get it. I don't have to be PC. Brittany Griner should not be on this team over a CAITLYN Clark. She just shouldn't.
We're not. You know we're not. Let's harken back to the Dream Team in 1992. Remember when Christian Laettner was on that squad? Forget the other pro players. Forget the pro players. Forget the pro players. That's a given. First time NBA players were allowed to participate. Don't put that damn screen up when I'm talking right now. I want to see Shanae and Andrea, okay? The point is this. Those rosters, right? Those players were on there. Do you know that Christian Laettner also was chosen ahead of Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning? You know why? He was a 2-time national champion. He was a Wooden Award winner. And he was white. And he had his own cachet. He brought it to the table. He was a big-time collegiate player who was white and busting people's you-know-what. They couldn't miss, and they didn't need him. You had Jordan. You had Magic. You had everybody, and you still picked that dude. Why? It wasn't because of basketball, even though he had the basketball credentials. It was because of something else. And they didn't need the pub. But the WNBA does. You got a max salary at $250,000. You had attendance, although it was trending in the right direction, certainly wasn't where you wanted it to be. And as Shannon pointed out just the other day, you got a team in the Indiana Fever with their struggling selves, struggling to win a damn game and be relevant. No team in the WNBA was worse other than the winless Washington Mystics, okay? And they went from 4,000 in attendance to 17,000. This girl is box office. I said a rising tide lifts all boats. What you do, especially if you're Team USA and you're trying to be globalized, it is an opportunity to globalize the WNBA brand. So people like Brittany Griner, you know, God bless her soul, and others don't have to go to Russia in the off season to play additional basketball to get extra income. They could stay right here if the sport elevates its popularity and you ladies start getting what you richly deserve. I'll even get a bit personal to Chinea Gumake and Andrea Carter. I recognize the fact that y'all are outstanding basketball analysts. You know how I feel about both of y'all. I told you privately, I've told the world publicly. I think y'all are a tag team for the ages. I think y'all are spectacular. But as spectacular as you are about talking the game of basketball, is that why you think I call for you to be on First Take? It ain't just because of your expertise. It's because you're great television. You matter. You draw an audience. This man, I don't even call Shannon anymore unless I'm teasing him about the Saturday Night Live skit. It's the truth, Shannon. That's the only time I call him Shannon. You know what I call him now? I call him Shay. Or Shay. Why? Because, damn it, that brand is growing. You understand what this man has done to help lift First Take? I ain't apologizing. You make decisions, marketing. I want people watching. I want eyeballs. I want advertising dollars. Why? Because he'll get paid. Y'all will get paid. And guess who else will get paid? You see where I'm coming from? That's what it's about. Stop acting otherwise. We know this. You don't sit up there and pass on CAITLYN Clark. It was stupid, Team USA. It was a dumb decision. Everybody, there's always somebody that's a sacrificial lamb. I respect the hell out of Rebecca Lobo and what she broke down. I understand it. It was a stupid decision because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand. How can you be that idiot? I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about Team USA. How could you be that idiotic and not make that call when throughout history, Team USA has been in part about marketing? It's dumb.
Wow. I don't agree with Stephen A lot politically. I just don't. But on this subject right here, from a sports perspective, and I actually somewhat agree with some of his sports takes, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Team USA, because of their hate, because of their cattiness, they fumbled the bag. And the WNBA, where is the commissioner at saying, what do we got to do to get this lady on this team? It's going to help boost the league. Where is the commissioner at? I ain't even gonna lie, man. This commissioner sucks. The Indiana Fever coach, terrible. She needs to be fired right now. Get another coach. Get somebody that knows what the heck they're doing in the commissioner's office. The shenanigans that's been going on in the league, I don't mind people playing physical basketball. I actually appreciate it. I missed the NBA when it was a little chippy and it was physical. But the things that are happening to CAITLYN Clark in the WNBA, that ain't chippy. That's hate. That ain't chippy. That's jealousy. Let's just call it what it is. You guys said that y'all want more eyeballs. You guys said y'all want more attention. You guys said that y'all want more respect. But how can we give you that when you guys don't respect yourselves? When you guys don't understand that y'all have a golden goose and y'all don't know what to do with it. It's a daggone shame. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. Consider joining the ARP family. Click that join button down below. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.